Hello and welcome back to Zekism Wrestling. We're going to analyse or go through the numbers, as they like to say, in Money in the Bank season. This Saturday we have the Money in the Bank ladder match, and we've got the 6 runners and riders on screen now. And rather than give you my prediction for the match itself, I thought I'd do something a bit different and analyse the percentages of the likelihood of these people winning, because you're gonna see who I think is gonna win as a result of that, I guess. But full disclosure, I have not looked at any betting odds. I don't really like looking at that anyway because it ruins the enjoyment of the show, I think. But each to their own. And I don't, betting on wrestling's a weird pastime anyway. That might be controversial. I don't think it is. So yeah, let's analyze the percentages of the people in the match, and we will start with the men's match. So on screen now you'll see the 6 runners and riders. We have Andrade, we have Penta, we have El Grande Americano, we have Solo Sikoa, and we have LA Knight, followed by Seth freaking Rollins. So we'll start with Andrade. 0%, dirt worst. No, absolutely no chance. He's probably the least likely out of any of the men or women this year to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm going all out on it being a 0% on Andrade doing anything related to the match. He'll do some cool spots. I like Andrade. I don't know why he's in this match. I really don't. He is just a body in the match. He'll probably do some sort of a version of a Mexican Destroyer on a ladder, I would imagine. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know why he's in the match other than to just be a body in the match. Andrade, since he's come back, has done relatively nothing, and it's very weird. I mean, we're now 18 months into his return, because he returned at the Rumble last year, and we are still no closer to seeing him do anything of note. The only thing he's done is gotten Carmelo Hayes, or attempted to get Carmelo Hayes more over. That's the only thing I can point to, and his participation in 2 Rumble matches. That's it. So yeah, sorry Andrade, I'm a big fan, but I don't think you've got any chance of winning this match. Sorry Andrade, I'm a big fan, but I don't think you've got any chance of winning this match. Next up, we go Penta. I'm going to give a low 2%. I have no confidence in Penta winning this either. I think, again, he's in the match to be a body and to sort of showcase him, showcase what he can do. I really like Penta. I'm a big fan. I think he's selling tons of merch, but since he's come into WWE, his moveset's not the most impressive, but it's his aura, it's his charisma. He's a superstar. There's no doubt about it. He's got the presence to carry, that sort of showmanship-esque that you need a little bit of to be in WWE or to get over, and he's massively over. So he's gonna do some crazy high spot, I'd imagine, probably involving Andrade or El Grande Americano. But yeah, I'd give him a 2%. Which brings me nicely on to El Grande Americano. Who's under that mask? I don't know. But El Grande Americano, I'm sticking to. The interesting thing is, will he be revealed as Chad Gable in this match, or in his previous match in the day on the AAA WWE Worlds Collide event that's taking place down the road? That's the interesting thing, because he may be in this match as whoever is underneath that mask. He was wearing boots this week on Raw that had CG on it. I can't think what that stands for. Yeah, I think he's... Full disclosure, if it is who I think it is under that mask, and I really don't, I'm not the best Sherlock in the world, then I really want him to win anyway, because he's an amazing wrestler. So underrated, and so needs a push, and he's the perfect winner of the Money in the Bank. But I just think I've listed Andrade, Penta, and El Grande Americano so far. These three people are going to take each other out of the match because of El Grande Americano's anti-lucha agenda, which will feature Andrade and Penta, particularly story-wise, within this match. So I think all three of these are taking each other out of the running, and yeah, for that reason. But El Grande Americano being a heel, I think he's a much more likely candidate to win than a Penta, for example, or definitely an Andrade. So I'm giving him a 3%. But the story is more important than the win, I think, for these three, especially El Grande Americano. So I give him a 3% over Penta's 2. But no chance of these three participating for the win. No chance whatsoever. The men's match actually is more cut and dry, I think, to predict than the women's, which we'll get onto at a later date. And that brings us on to the next likely candidate, Solo Sikoa. Where do we start with Solo? I think my honest opinion is he's doing good work. I think he's much more charismatic, much more just a bit goofier, but I think in a good way, because his goofiness is bringing out a bit more. He's not just like a mob boss, which is what he was posing to be, and he's not as dry as he once was. He's injected a bit more of that Uso humor and Uso charisma that the other two, his older brothers, have, and it's for the better, I think, because he's a much more engaging character now. I think he's not going to win purely because I predict Jacob Fatu's going to get involved in some form and cost him to further their storyline, because Solo cost Jacob's participation in this match accidentally, not so accidentally, remains to be seen. But I think he is. I can see him with the briefcase. I just don't think it's likely. Does that work? Does that make sense? But that's my thoughts on him. So I'm giving him a 20% because I think the remaining three are much more likely to win. They're the three candidates for me. And I think Solo's in the running, but I find it hard to believe that he'll end up with that briefcase at the end of the night. So 20%, I think that's fair. I could have gone lower, but it's fine. Next up, LA Knight. LA Knight, yeah. He's massively over. Massively organically over. He is the outstanding babyface candidate to win. This is his third straight Money in the Bank match. He has been one of the favourites to win every year. He is, as I said, organically over. He is someone I think a lot of the fan base want to see succeed. He sells a ton of merch. He's screamed from the rafters when he enters the arena. I was at SmackDown in London earlier this year, where he was massively over with the UK fan base, and I see on TV every week that he's massively over wherever he goes. Everyone loves him. If you're gonna have a babyface win it and cash in to a massive pop, here's your guy. Because I think he's ready. I think he's proved that he's capable of elevating to the main event scene. He's done that seamlessly. I think it's no coincidence that he's been very much removed from the United States title scene since he lost at Mania. Relatively just lost at Mania. So I think he's good to go. I think he's an outstanding candidate to win. It's between him and the other guy that I've got to talk about in a minute. And yeah, I personally, I would want him to win out of all of them in the match. Just on a personal note, I think he deserves it. I think he's proven over the last 2 years that he is the guy. He's the guy to stake your claim for. The only thing going against him is his age, but we won't talk about that because I'm not ageist. And finally, we get on to Seth freaking Rollins. I made my feelings known on Seth. I'm not a massive fan. However, I think he is doing good work as a heel. I think, he's the kind of person I want to boo, and now they're allowing me the chance to boo him. I wish he'd change his music, but that aside, I think Seth is the outstanding candidate to win this. From a storyline reason, it makes all the sense in the world. I'm not a fan of repeat Money in the Bank winners, which obviously he would be because he famously had the best cash-in of all time. And so he's already won the Money in the Bank in the past. And my personal preference for a Money in the Bank winner is that they're someone who needs... they need the briefcase. I don't think Seth needs the briefcase. I think he's a big enough star and a big enough name to be able to click his fingers and get a title match just because he's that level of star. So I think his participation in the match, I'm not hoping as such, but I think the only thing that counts against him storyline wise is that he's got people gunning for him who could potentially cost him the match. That said, he's also got Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker as backup and support, and I can just have the image in my head of him pulling the briefcase down, surrounded by obviously Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Bron Breakker. That said, I think it'd be odd. Odd. That sounds wrong. I think it'd be weird if there was two heel winners in both matches, the women's and the men's. So that's the only thing. Again, I'm trying to sort of talk myself out of picking Seth, but look, it makes all the sense in the world. I don't particularly want to see it because as I said, I don't think he needs it. I think he could just walk up to Jey Uso and go, "I want a title match," which I think he's already done on Raw. So I don't know if he needs the win as such, and that's where my leaning preference-wise would lean towards LA Knight. But Seth is probably the likely winner. I could see it happening. I can just see the sort of picture on WWE.com and all the socials with him surrounded by his squad. God, they need a name for that faction. But so that I think 50%. I think that's I'm gonna go. He's my likely winner, and watch me be wrong on a Monday morning. But yeah, those are my picks. Those are my sort of runners and riders, or whatever I'm going to title this video as. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think there's a chance that something else has happened? I've sort of laid out maybe all the potential outcomes just to hedge my bets. But those are my likely winners. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Drop me a subscribe if you want to. That really would be beneficial to the channel. But other than that, take care, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.